Have you ever wondered what it would be like if God warned the world that judgment was coming, but almost no one listened? Imagine spending years building a gigantic ark on dry land while people laughed at you every single day. Imagine trusting God even when everyone around you thought you had lost your mind. This isn't just a story about animals entering a boat. It's a story about faith, obedience, judgment, mercy, and hope. Today, we're going to journey through one of the most powerful events in the Bible, the story of Noah's Ark. Let's begin. Long ago, the earth was very different from the world we know today. As the population grew, so did wickedness. People became violent, dishonest, and filled their hearts with evil. The Bible tells us that every inclination of the human heart was continually evil. God, who is perfectly holy and just, looked upon the earth and saw that corruption had spread everywhere. His heart was grieved because of humanity's sin. But among all the people on earth, one man stood out. His name was Noah. The Bible describes Noah as a righteous man who walked faithfully with God. This did not mean Noah was perfect, but he trusted God and sought to obey him. Then God gave Noah an astonishing message. God told Noah that a great flood would cover the earth because of humanity's wickedness. Yet, in his mercy, God provided a way of salvation. He instructed Noah to build a massive ark. God gave detailed instructions for its construction. The ark was to be made of gopher wood, coated with pitch inside and out, and built with 3 decks, rooms, a door on its side, and a window near the roof. This was no ordinary boat. It was an enormous vessel designed to preserve life. Imagine Noah sharing God's warning with the people around him while he worked day after day, year after year. Instead of listening, many likely mocked him. They had never seen anything like what Noah was building. But Noah continued. Every swing of the hammer was an act of faith. Every piece of wood placed on the ark was another declaration that God's word could be trusted. Noah obeyed, even when obedience was difficult. As the ark neared completion, God gave another command. Noah was to bring his wife, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives into the ark. God also instructed Noah to bring animals aboard so that life would continue after the flood. Pairs of every kind of animal came to the ark, and additional clean animals were also brought according to God's instructions. Can you imagine that incredible sight? Great elephants walking beside tiny rabbits, powerful lions beside gentle sheep, birds filling the skies, creatures from every direction arriving exactly as God had commanded. This was not Noah gathering the animals by his own strength. God himself brought them. Finally, everything was ready. Then something remarkable happened. The Lord shut the door of the ark. That single moment marked the end of opportunity for those who had rejected God's warning. Soon, dark clouds filled the sky. Rain began to fall. At the same time, fountains of the great deep burst open beneath the earth. Water poured down from above and surged upward from below. The floodwaters rose higher and higher. Homes disappeared beneath the water. Mountains were eventually covered. Everything outside the ark was overwhelmed by the flood. Inside the ark, however, Noah and his family were safe. Not because of their own power, but because they trusted God's provision. For 40 days and 40 nights, rain fell upon the earth. The ark floated on the waters as the world outside was transformed forever. Then the rain stopped. The waters remained on the earth for many months before they slowly began to recede. In time, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah waited patiently. He first sent out a raven. Later, he sent out a dove, but it found no place to land and returned. After waiting several more days, Noah sent the dove again. This time, it returned carrying a freshly plucked olive leaf. What a beautiful moment. The olive leaf was more than a branch. It was a sign that new life was beginning, a sign that hope was returning. After waiting again, Noah released the dove one more time, and it did not return. The earth was becoming ready once more. Then God spoke. "Come out of the ark." Noah, his family, and every animal stepped onto dry ground. Imagine taking that first breath of fresh air after so many months inside the ark. Imagine seeing mountains, trees, and open skies again. The very first thing Noah did was not build a house. He worshiped God. He built an altar and offered sacrifices in gratitude. His first response to God's deliverance was worship. Then God made a covenant with Noah and all living creatures. Never again would a flood destroy the entire earth in the same way. As a sign of this promise, God placed a rainbow in the clouds. Whenever the rainbow appeared, it would remind humanity of God's covenant and his faithfulness. The rainbow became a powerful symbol, not only of God's justice, but also of his mercy. The story of Noah's Ark teaches us lessons that are still important today. First, obedience to God is not always popular, but it is always worthwhile. Noah obeyed when no one else did. Second, faith means trusting God, even when we cannot yet see the outcome. Noah built the ark long before the rain began. Third, God's warnings come from his love. He desires people to turn to him rather than face judgment. Finally, we see that even after judgment, God provides hope. His mercy shines through his promises. Thousands of years later, Noah's story continues to remind us that God's word can be trusted. When the whole world chooses a different path, faithfulness still matters. When obedience feels difficult, God remains faithful. And when hope seems distant, his promises still stand. Thank you for watching this animated Bible story. If this video encouraged you or helped you understand the Bible better, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next Bible story. Share this video with your family and friends so more people can discover the timeless truths found